My interest in chickens goes back to when I was a boy. We had chickens and steers at home. My older brother tended the steers, and I was in charge of the chickens. Our family would have come from Germany in the early 1700s. They were farmers back then, and that's about 14 generations. How long they farmed in the old country, I'm not even sure, but we've been farmers ever since.
My dad bought the farm that I live on today. I was born in that house in 1929.
I was actually born and raised on this farm. My grandfather acquired the farm in the 1940s. So my parents lived there, my grandparents originally lived there, so I was born and raised there all the way up until I went off to college.
I am Luke Brewbaker of Brewbaker Farms, and I have two fine sons that are partners with me, Mike Brewbaker and Tony Brewbaker. We raise crops and we raise chickens and we have lots of cows.
25 years ago, someone from every family had some involvement in agriculture. Now, that's not really the case. There's a disconnect. Now, a lot of kids think that their food comes from the grocery store. They don't realize that the food actually comes from hard-working farm families all across the United States and other parts of the world.
My name is Mike Burns. I worked for Tyson for 13 years. You know, I'm going to call them elite farmers because, you know, a lot of the operations that we see, we have very high standards from a company standpoint. And the reason for that is we feed people. And feeding people is what we're good at. And there needs to be a high standard to make sure that we can feed not only efficiently but also safely.
It's a great experience because we know that they're committed to quality and excellence, and they're working very hard to do a good job in terms of the overall poultry production, and we're trying to do the same here at the farm level so that they can grow to be healthy and happy.
Tyson and the local plant consists of over 100 growers, and each one of the growers is a family farm.
In the community here, people are close-knit. Neighbors know each other. A lot of the farmers know each other. We get together, we share ideas on how to farm better, how to raise our chickens better, how to milk our cows better, how to make better products.
We have a great relationship. If one would ever need help, we're always there to help each other.
And we're very fortunate from a standpoint of a company like Tyson to have a relationship with family farmers. That relationship really kind of helps us go out there and hire people that really care about food production and care about the values that Tyson Foods stands for and the production that we really need to see in the industry today, because obviously, you know, we have to be very efficient in what we do.
I think more than ever, people want to understand what's going into their food, where it's coming from. There's a lot of misconceptions. I get the questions a lot, well, aren't your chickens in tight cages and aren't they stuffed in there and being fed all these crazy things like hormones? And the fact is, it's just not true. Most days we would find it more comfortable in that chicken house than we would even out here under the beating sun, because it's climate controlled. So the chickens have everything that they need. They have a climate controlled environment. They have protection from the elements. They have a nutritious food program that's managed by some of the best and brightest veterinarians in the country. One of the great things about working with a company like Tyson is we know that they do care about the animals and that they do have high standards of expectations with the care of those animals. We see those in the policies that come across, but yet also in the general approach of the overall company, even looking at their core values. It runs through the company consistently.
But when you really boil it down to animal welfare, you're talking about, are you adding stress to that animal's life? But on a more humanistic side, I mean, what's right is right. If you mistreat animals, they're not going to treat you well either.
We don't focus just on production from animals. We like to look towards the future, and what that means is we need to take a look at our soil, our water, and our air.
We make sure that the practices that we're using, you know, have as small of a carbon footprint as we can, so, you know, our environmental impact is small.
Having an environmentally sound and environmentally sensitive farming operation is important to us. I believe it's what people did before us, and it's why we have the opportunity to farm this land, thankfully. And we have a growing world, a growing population across the world that is going to require us to be efficient with our food production and do it in an environmentally sound manner and do it in a way that consumers are comfortable with.
You know, we really try hard to make sure that what we have is going to stay healthy and vibrant for the next generation. I mean, we actually would like to make it even better for the next generation.
The end result is providing chicken for different people, especially kids in school. I have kids in school, and so nutrition's important for my wife, feeding our family, and it's good to know that our kids in many schools are receiving poultry from Tyson.
Well, it feels tremendous to be part of providing a safe and affordable and nutritious food product for schools. Having young children, it holds a special place in my heart.
When you start out with a baby chicken, you can grow it to a full-grown chicken. You know, that's satisfying. When you can raise a calf up to the point that she becomes a cow and starts producing milk, you know, that's satisfying. And when you see somebody buy your milk or buy your chicken in the grocery store and say, you know what, this tastes good, that's even more satisfying. So that's what it's all about for me. I enjoy the challenge of it and seeing results after you put all that hard work into it.
I think it's a pretty noble profession. You know, we're providing food, and you know, I think what better could it be than that?
Working in the chicken house is a great way to build family.
Five children, 3 out of the 5 are farming. So we've passed that along again, and I'm happy for it. I'm glad. What we do, it's what we understand. Made a living for us, raised our children. What more do you want?